Hello, my friends, and I have brought to you something that is kind of sad, but it's a big decline ever since COVID started happening. And since we are not out of the woods yet with it, this is by far one of the saddest things you'll ever come across. Now, I want you to look at this for a moment. This picture of what I'm looking at reminds me of the McDonald's that is not too far from me, which is on off the corner of Florence and Figueroa. And across from this McDonald's, there's a Burger King. And across from that Burger King is a Little Caesars. As well as, in the same vicinity, you have Pizza Hut. So we have Pizza Hut and Burger King on one side. On another side, you have Little Caesars, and on the other side, McDonald's. This does remind me of that McDonald's I've seen before. They have changed since then. And I've been there, and let me tell you, any kind of McDonald's you've ever remembered has been so vibrant, so different, and yet it's turning to be a very drab, very sad place. So, McDonald's is getting rid of self-serve soda machines. And this was sent to me by Ryu, since this happened quite a while back. Okay, so so here we go. McDonald's is getting rid of one of its biggest perks. The fast food chain is eliminating its self-serve soda machines by 2032 at its U.S. restaurants, the company said, explaining that the change will make the experience consistent for consumers and crew across the chain. Mind you, 2023. That's 9 years from now, which will be 32. For decades, McDonald's let customers fill and refill their own drinks and at its dining rooms. However, consumer behavior has changed since the pandemic, and the chain has experienced a surge in business through its drive-through and delivery services, and fewer people choosing to eat in its dining rooms, reducing the need for the machines. McDonald's future includes restaurant designs with smaller or no dining rooms and high-tech drive-thrus. To reflect that new reality, digital sales or orders made on its app or through its partners like Uber now make up 40% of its total sales, according to its most recent report. The chain also recently teased another major change called Cosmics, a new small format location that includes a reduced dining area. There's a number of places around the U.S. Excuse me. Let me read that again. There's a number of places around the U.S. where we are significantly underdeveloped relative to where the population exists today. CEO Chris Kempczynski told analysts in June. That opens up for a whole bunch of development opportunities for us to go after. In the past, ditching dining rooms was off limits, but customer habits have changed so much since the height of the pandemic, McDonald's hasn't released further details about the cosmic concept. Other chains are experimenting with reinventing their designs too, including Chipotle, Taco Bell, and Starbucks. Now, what does that mean for us in the future? Well, that means, if you remember correctly, in a movie that everybody knows about, known as Demolition Man, there were only two existing franchises that actually lived out and basically stood out since. One was McDonald's, the other was Taco Bell. And from what I know, is that if you really think about it, it's rather sad. Because since the pandemic happened, a lot has changed. A lot has changed on the way we go out in general. And one of the things that happen when we go out in general is the fact that our appetites aren't the same as it was, say, 10, 20 years ago. A lot has changed because of how the food is prepared and how it's presented. Now, honestly, I think that where I am, and mind you, it might not be in your area, but in my area, we no longer have this. We no longer have these serve machines. At least the only McDonald's I know doesn't have that. Now, maybe in another part of the world, say Chesterfield Square, they still have this around. And I prefer, if I'm going to be in my little zone like I usually do, I prefer to simply just go to McDonald's, go get myself $1 worth of soda because, you're going to sit there, you're going to drink, and whatever you're going to do, you're just going to take it in. I, for one, do not like the idea of them taking out the self-serve soda machines. Because once McDonald's does that, in every part of their chain, guess who's going to follow? If they hadn't done so, Burger King. Next will be Jack in the Box. Well, Jack in the Box did it as well, because the one I know, right across from the shopping center, the Slauson Shopping Center, no longer has a self-serve machine. As a matter of fact, last time I actually went to a Jack in the Box, it was, I only got like 2 tacos from it. And it's sort of sad. Because even when you ask for a regular, it sure doesn't feel like much. It's like everything has downsized since then. Now, be it if it is Jack in the Box, Taco Bell, KFC, or what have you. I think KFC still has a self-serve soda machine. Same as for Carl's Jr. Because the one I go to, which is near downtown LA, Still has it. There's another one which is closer by my area, but I hardly. Well, it's not. It's Jack in the Box, not a Carl's Jr. But the only other Carl's Jr. that I know, probably not the only Carl's Jr. that I know, but the only Carl's Jr. that I know of is the one in downtown LA. And right next to it is a Panda Express, and further down is McDonald's. And there used to be another place called Grinders. My folks used to call it the Grinder, Grindery, but it's called Grinders. It's out of business now. So many things have been, up and gone since. Like, we used to have Bob's Big Boy, Coco's, Shakey's. But ever since then, it has become smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller since. McDonald's is going to be one of those remnants of a fine fast food chain of restaurants that was basically casual and no longer as casual as it used to be before then. It used to have a play place. They took that out. I know the one in Chesterfield Square, they took out their play place. I don't know any other place that has a play place still in operation. I know there's one near LaSalle that doesn't even have that. It's just like they're all simply just becoming drab existences of their former selves, which is a sad thing. And El Pollo Loco still has self-serve soda machines in some parts. But that was the good thing about going into places like these, more so than, say, you went through drive-thru. Because every time I always went inside the place. Because let's just say, I just want to have a moment. I want to sit in, have like some chicken McNuggets, fries, and ketchup, or barbecue sauce. Just have myself a value meal, and constantly have something from the soda machine. The soda machine being there, I could just say have one or two, up to say three shots of whatever I want to drink. Like, say, if I wanted to drink some water, I could do that. I pay for it. I think I have that right. Or if I want to drink some high C, I could do that. I have that right. Or how about Sprite? Or maybe even a suicide or a genocide. For those who don't know what a suicide is, as far as the drink is concerned, it's two. You mix two drinks together, it's a suicide. You mix three, it's a genocide. And I've done it a lot at 7-Eleven. I suppose if I were to do 4, it'd be called a homicide. But again, that's just me. Aside from that, fast food has really fallen into decline since, though. And it's a sad thing that it's happening, but it does happen. And when it does happen, well, there's only one thing you can do: learn how to cook. Good thing is, I treat going out now as, say, a luxury. Whereas, oh, I'm just going out just be going out. No. If I have to really go out, if I feel the need to go out, I'll gladly go to, say, IHOP or Denny's. Maybe a Wendy's, because I know there's a Wendy's near downtown area. I have to go for a little farther up, but it's there, and I don't have to go all the way out to say Century just to go to a Wendy's. I could just simply go to downtown LA, get off around where Target is, walk a bit. It's not, but it's right there. It's sort of actually sad that we've come so far, and for what it's worth, fast food chains are just falling into decline. And I think because of what happened, there are certain areas that are just that they can't really come back from. And sadly, it is the way of how it is. There are some businesses that can bounce back, and some that say, we're going to have to cut costs. We're going to have to do this. We're going to have to take out the sub machine, put one in the back, and our customers are going to have to ask us for a drink. And possibly, hey, they might have to they might charge you for a refill. And that really suck. The last time I went to McDonald's, I took a friend with me, and we actually shared a meal. We had two of the same thing, so basically we really did share a meal. So I had say 10 pieces of chicken McNuggets. He had 10 pieces of chicken McNuggets. And I just said, well, you know what? You know, that's for you and your mom, you know. Do, you know, take care of her and whatnot. Seen him like at least twice since after the pandemic just died down a bit. But for what it's worth, well, I'm really hoping, you know, things do change. As far as fast food is concerned, even though I don't normally have a taste for fast food anymore but I don't mind going there just to get a drink. And just to sit down and, you know, relax or work on a book or something. I mean, that's the only reason why I would go to McDonald's over a Burger King. Just because I can sit there, I can watch TV, I can enjoy my drink, I can work on something for a while, and then just be on my way when I'm done. But it is what it is. And sadly, with all that's happening, who knows what will happen to fast food as we know it. So, what do you think out of all this? Leave me some feedback and go from there. So, with that, I've been your friendly neighborhood Tenkaichi, and this was a look at what's happening all over the world, starting with your own neighborhood. Until then, I'll see you next time for more great content. Goodbye now.